Live from Arkansas streaming news leader, this is THV 11 Morning News at 7 on THV 11 Plus.
Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome here on THV 11 Plus. We got Ashley, Hayden, Karen, Tracy, and an open mic somewhere in the studio.
Yeah,
we don't know where it is, but we're going to cut it off,
issue.
so we're good to go.
Okay, where's the mic issue?
No, we got it solved.
Yes, we are good to go. Glad you're with us on the Plus, and Tracy's going to have your forecast. That's a degree or two cooler. Ashley has traffic.
Yeah, not a lot. Luckily, hopefully there's not any problems this morning on the roads because, of course, it's still hot, although we are cooling off just a little bit. So far, it's been pretty good this morning.
At least we don't have corn sweat here.
I know. We talked about
I lived in Iowa. Oh, goodness. If you don't know what corn sweat is, go to Iowa. You'll find plenty of corn.
We were talking about it here, one of our newscasts in the last couple of days, the corn sweat is kind of trending right now because it's that condensation that it comes on the leaves of the corn
stalks. Right at the top of the stalks.
And it makes the humidity
go up. And when you think about how much corn is in Iowa,
well, young people in summertime, the young people do that for a job.
No,
they cut the tassel off the corn, and so they're out there in the heat. It's a good summer job for kids to get out there on the farms. But man, I mean, they are in some serious humidity.
We have rice condensation down here is what we have in the state of Arkansas.
We have enough of the condensation and the humidity.
I will say though, do you remember, Ashley, in that story that we were reading it and they were talking about how high the heat index was? They were talking about 96.
Yes, they go, and it is 96.
Tell us something we don't know.
But, perspective for them, that's a lot. And it's very hot, and they're not accustomed to that.
I remember watching a late night. I don't know if it was, Kimmel or who it was.
Hopefully Colbert.
But yeah, hopefully. But
that's ending.
They were doing this whole thing of making fun of the people out in California, talking about how cold it was. It is so cold here, you guys. It's in the 50s.
It's in the 50s.
And so in New York, and they were joking about how it's so cold there, and they had a montage of all of this. But yeah,
should just start an SEC chant right now.
Let
them know. Let them know.
Just depends on where you live. It's all relative to that.
And what's the countdown, by the way, Hayden? When is the next Razorback game?
Oh my gosh, I think 5 weeks. 5 weeks, I think, from tomorrow.
Keep it to the day. Don't you have it down to a science?
I think 36 days, 35 days. I'm pretty sure it's 5 weeks from tomorrow.
When
Is
you
the first
think
ball
of that,
season.
you think it's going to be cooler.
Yeah.
It isn't always.
No, not that first one. That first one is brutal. I mean, they've got those IVs hooked up to those kids, making sure they're hydrated. Yeah. I mean, and you hope. I can't remember the game time. I think it's at night. The first one. I know the second
6
one.
p.m.?
I know what time the ASU game is.
Yeah, that's in the middle of the day. It's where it's still hot.
I can't remember the time for the first game, but hopefully it's
an evening game. Yes.
Yeah.
3:15. Oh, have fun, kids.
Yeah.
3:15.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peyton, for telling me in my ear. 3:15. It's going to be brutal. So have fun with
It's
that.
hot for us in the stands, but I can't imagine we're in the pads.
Oh,
No.
It can be hot in Arkansas all the way through even the first part of October at times,
Yeah.
but September for sure.
All the way through October.
Yeah.
So even when you're getting kids dressed for Halloween,
I know.
sometimes you
We
don't
kind of
know.
have two seasons.
Yeah,
hot and not hot.
I have two kids that have birthdays in mid and then late October, and I remember talking about Halloween. For their birthdays as well, we could either have a pool party or we could. It was like
a
one or
hayride.
the other.
Your options are endless in Arkansas. Well, about traffic this
All
morning.
right. Well, we don't have any corn sweat or anything going on. No wet roads on the roads. It's all dry this morning. Although Tracy, she's just going to tell us something, hopefully, about maybe the possibility of some rain coming up. But it's looking pretty good right now as far as the traffic goes. This is I-30, the River Bridge in downtown Little Rock. Traffic is moving right along, and we're not seeing any major delays, and we're not seeing any accidents right now across central Arkansas, which is great news. And as far as the drive times into downtown Little Rock, it's looking good. We have all green off to the side there, which means traffic is rolling right along. 24 minutes if you're coming from the Oak Street exit in Conway, going at an average of 70 miles per hour. 17 minutes coming from Benton, and a 19-minute drive in from around Highway 5 in Cabot. Tracy?
All right, we are talking about heat alerts again today, but we do have a heat advisory that is down from an extreme heat warning. So still going to be hot and a bit dangerous out there. Right now we are looking at a few clouds and it's very humid out there. We are starting the morning off around 80 here at 7 a.m., feeling like 85. Calm winds aren't really moving much around, and those dew points are the reason it feels very sticky out there. So it's a good weather day to talk about how it's going to be a bit cooler, but again, still talking about staying weather aware. And I want to let you know that during this Plus segment, we do have a special guest in the studio with us. Jace, come on over. I want to show you, this is my friend Jace. He is very involved with the summer cereal drive. So you love weather, right? Yep. He has had the best time and been asking fantastic questions. And so he's here shadowing today. He's been with me here since 4:30 this morning, him and his grandmother. So thank you both for coming in. It was fantastic. And so a little bit later, we're going to let him do a little weather segment, I think. So it's going to be a lot of fun. He has his own like weather and news station, if you will, right? We're going to talk more about that. So you know what I want you to do? I want you to go ahead and tell him that's it for weather, and back to you, Karen. Go ahead.
That's it for weather. Back to you, Karen.
My motherly instinct says, thank you, sweetheart. Thanks. Developing now, 2 men are sitting in a Pine Bluff jail this morning accused of stealing air conditioning units from a local apartment complex.
So police arrested Corey Thomas and Edward Reeves, accused in connection with the theft. Now, several units were taken early Thursday morning from Broadmoor Arms Apartments.
Surveillance video, though, captured the scene. Take a look. It's a very clear picture around 4 a.m. showing this white pickup truck in the parking lot that investigators say is connected to that crime.
Progressive activists turning their attention to Senator John Boozman's Little Rock office on Thursday, rallying against proposed federal housing cuts they argue are worsening already difficult conditions. Organizers with Arkansas community organizations say the planned reductions would put struggling families in even greater danger, especially those already living in unsafe and inadequate housing. Now, they are calling for increased federal investment, not less, and demanding that Senator Boozman oppose the cuts when the proposal reaches a Senate committee.
We're struggling already, and like the sign says, a house for everyone. Everybody deserves a decent, clean, safe place to live.
While protesters gathered outside his district office, Senator Boozman was in Washington, where the Senate remains in session.
Another protest, this one outside the El Salvadoran consulate in Springdale, part of a nationwide vigil. The group Indivisible Northwest Arkansas says they chose the site to urge the president of El Salvador to stop accepting deportees directly into prison custody. The group leader is a former attorney and says the practice violates human rights and raises serious ethical and legal concerns for the U.S.
You know, no one should feel warm and safe from this. There are regular American citizens born here who until now had no reason to fear.
A federal judge echoes those concerns, saying he's weighing the possibility of disciplinary action against Justice Department attorneys involved in deportations to prisons in El Salvador.
Now a closer look at a growing issue after Pulaski County's only crisis stabilization unit shut down earlier this month.
That closure is leaving many people who are in a mental health crisis with nowhere else to go, and law enforcement officers with fewer options when responding to emergencies. THV 11's Tamer Knight joins us with what's behind the closure and the county's next steps. Tamer?
Well, good morning, Karen and Hayden. The CSU offers short-term help for people in mental health crisis, keeping many out of the jail or the ER. And the shutdown comes at a time when demand for mental health services continues to rise. Operated by UAMS, the unit provided medical, therapeutic, and peer support services. Over its 6 years of operation, it served thousands of people from across central Arkansas. Local jails and emergency rooms are now feeling the pressure as there are fewer places to turn to for urgent mental health support. Even though it was rarely full, county leaders call it an essential service that prevented more serious outcomes.
So with Pulaski being gone, that puts a huge dent in accessibility or resources, free resources that people can get going to the CSU.
UAMS says it no longer had the resources to continue operations, citing budgets, cuts, and staffing challenges. So now Pulaski County officials are looking for ways to fill the gap left by this vital resource. They hope to find other organizations to join forces to reopen, but funding is the main issue. County officials say they're in early talks with potential partners, but there's no clear timeline for reopening. With this closure, there are now only 2 similar units left in Arkansas, both located hours away from here. For Tamer Knight, for THV 11 News.
We are following new developments in the legal battle over Arkansas's landmark Pharmacy Benefits Law, Act 624. A federal judge says he'll decide soon whether to block the law before it takes effect. The law bans pharmacy benefit managers or PBMs from owning or running drugstores in the state starting next year. PBMs and their trade group argue the law violates the Constitution and unfairly targets them, while state attorneys say it protects Arkansans from rising drug costs and anti-competitive behavior. The judge says he understands the potential impact on the industry, but that alone won't drive his ruling. If he blocks the law, a full trial could follow.
A new report shows violent crime continuing to fall in most U.S. cities, including a 17% drop in homicides during the first half of this year. Little Rock, however, is one of 5 cities seeing an uptick, with homicides up by nearly 40%. Experts say overall crime is down compared to pre-pandemic levels, but certain cities still face serious challenges. The report also shows that while violent crimes are down, those that do happen are more often deadly. Political leaders, including President Trump, have raised concerns about rising crime, but some experts warn some of the claims don't match the data, and researchers say more study is needed to understand the complexity behind these crime trends.
And it's just past 7:11. Here is Ashley King with a check of the roads this morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys. We're looking at I-30 right now going westbound. This is where we start to see this area first every weekday morning, but right now things are moving along pretty nice. We're not seeing any delays. Traffic isn't backing up at all just yet. It is still early, but we look pretty good. We have an accident that just popped up here. Zooming in, this is on 440 in Little Rock eastbound. It is on the ramp, so we will continue to watch that and see what's going on. We may just check on that right now. In fact, let me see if I can find that accident. I think I have a little bit of time. If I can find it on my map, it's not updating over here. But there is an accident there, 440, so just be careful as you're going through that area. You may see that as you're moving through. That is not 440, that is 630. So yeah, just we'll get another look at it. We'll find that accident when we come back. But right now, that is the only accident that we see. Our drive times into downtown Little Rock look pretty good. 15 minutes is what it will take you if you're around the promenade there off Chenal Parkway. 17 minutes if you're coming from Benton, and a 21-minute drive coming from Cabot with an average speed of about 56 miles per hour.
All right, weather-wise, it's pretty calm over here too, thank goodness. Friday is starting off slow, but it is heating up fast. We are already at 80 degrees here in the capital city, feeling like 85. So again, starting to see that spread between that temperature and that heat index value. So temperatures are certainly going to start to warm. We do have a heat advisory today that's down from an extreme heat warning, which is good news. But that heat advisory, we still need to make sure we are staying very weather aware. Looking for that high today in the mid to upper 90s, and it still could feel anywhere from 110 or below today. So drink that water and make sure you're staying hydrated across the state. We're finally down from looking at those highs around 100 degrees, although it's getting close at time. Sunny and hot is going to be that story that we're going to talk about today as we're heading into the afternoon. Again, here in central Arkansas, 110, mainly looking at those warmer temperatures to our south, but they may get a few little spotty rain showers as they're heading into the weekend, which those are the lucky ones, of course. We are going to see a few of those showers possibly here in central Arkansas, but I don't expect much. We're going to talk more about those rain chances and what you can expect from these temperatures, but right now we are headed to break. Stay with us. We've got more THV 11 morning news right after this.